friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today we're going to be doing a tag video. Just very recently, Bree from Call Me After Coffee tagged me in the leap year tag. I don't know if that's what it's called. I think it's called the leap year tag. I will make sure I get the right name on the title. And I will make sure to put the original creators, I think there's 2 women who created it. I'll put them in the description box below, along with Bree's channel. Follow all the people. I thought this was a cute, fun, quick tag to do in February, being a leap year 2020. So let's just jump right in. Question number 1, and I am going to be looking down because I film on my phone. I can't look at my phone for the questions. I think that's cute when that happens in videos, but I film on my phone, so I have to use my big old laptop, and that's not as cute. And forgive I worked 10 hours today nannying hair and lighting, which means it's kind of dark out. But all that aside, let's jump right into the questions. There are 8 of them. Number 1, an extra day. What is one book that brought a little something extra? And I had a quick gander over my read list on Goodreads. I kind of sorted it by ratings so I could see my 5-star books. I was looking for something maybe that surprised me or brought a little something extra. And I ended up deciding to say A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman, because this is my first Bachman book, and this brought me into the world of Frederick Bachman, and he is now one of my favorite authors. I've read everything that he's written except for, I think there are 2 novellas, maybe 3 novellas. I've read all of his full-length novels. I read his nonfiction. I absolutely love Frederick Bachman, and this is the one that started it all. I actually listened to this one on audiobook when I first read it. And it's just about this man, older gentleman, kind of cranky. Reminds me of Grumpy Old Men, that movie, and Grumpier Old Men. Just kind of this cantankerous, likes things set in his way man who is really struggling and actually thinks a lot about killing himself and ending it all, because he just can't deal with the grief and the loss and living life anymore without his wife. So we just get to really know Uwe. We get to know his neighbors, who are fantastic. Parvana is, I want to be friends with her. She's fabulous. And kind of, she pushes her way into Uwe's life, and I just love it. It has so much heart. His quirky characters. This really was my gateway drug into Frederick Bachman. So this is definitely a book that brought me a little something extra. Number 2, taking a big leap. What is one book that you are or were afraid to read? And here's where we're going to start the whole cheating thing that I'm doing. This tag often deals with like the number 4, because leap years happen every 4 years. So I'm on a couple of questions. I'm going to give you 4 answers because why not, right? So a couple books, 4 books in particular, that I was intimidated or afraid to pick up were Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. You'll see a theme here. This is a massive chunker book. And when people would describe it, the thing that they said the most was, it's a book about the building of a cathedral. I mean, shoot me now. That sounds so boring. And while that is a huge part of this book, there is so much more to it. It's very brutal because it happens in the Middle Ages and life was rough. And there's a couple scenes in here that I could have done without, for sure. But ultimately, I ended up loving this book. But have I moved on to the next one? No, because it's massive. So yeah, I'm going to say Pillars of the Earth for similar reasons. I'm going to say The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I can't say that the right way. Sorry, all my French friends. I can't say it. It's massive. But I did love the movie years and years ago. Even though I've heard that this is so very different from the movie, it's definitely a classic that has been on my radar and I wanted to read, and I did. In 2019, I finished this book. Yay. Another classic that I wanted to read and put off because it was just so big is Les Miserables by, oh man. Is it also Alexandre Dumas? No, Victor Hugo. I read the unabridged version. Yay me. I read it before I ever went to see the musical. And now Les Mis is easily my favorite musical of all time. Love, love, love. It will always have a special place in my heart because I made myself read the book before going to see it. I could have done without all the French Revolution stuff, but I loved it. It was very good. But I was definitely intimidated. And the final book / series, originally it was one book. I'm going to say The Lord of the Rings. I'm currently reading Fellowship of the Ring. I'm a little behind where I should be, but I'm really enjoying it so far. But okay, why haven't I read this yet? My brothers have read this many, many, many times. My dad used to love this book. Why did I never read it? I don't know. I was afraid of it, but I'm doing it now. This is the year. Yay! Okay, number 3. Every 4 years, what is the 4th book that you read this year? I don't have a copy of this because the 4th book I read this year was Vanderbeekers to the Rescue by Karina Jan Glaser. And this is a middle grade book. It is the 3rd book in the Vanderbeeker series, and I believe it's the last one that's out currently. I love this family. You guys have heard me talk about this if you've been watching my channel over the last couple months, because I think I started the Vanderbeekers maybe October or November, and I've read all 3 so far that are out. Wonderful family of siblings that live in Harlem in New York City and get into a lot of different scrapes and have some dramas, but it's just so much love in this family and trust and adventure and humor. It's lovely and I love it. So if you haven't picked up the Vanderbeekers and you're looking for a middle grade March book, there's an idea for you. But that is the 4th book that I read this year. Number 4, 366 days in the year. Looking at your 3rd shelf, name the 6th book on that shelf and then name the 6th book after that. So I did. I went and did it because I went into one of my shelves in the other room. I should have done it on this shelf. That would have been fun. Could have done it with you, but I didn't. The 6th book on my 3rd shelf is Courting Mr. Lincoln. It's my hardcover shelf. I have them separated right now. I'm thinking about changing my shelves, but that's another discussion for another time. This is by Louis Bayard, and is a historical fiction. And that's all I know. This was gifted to me by my friend Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for this book. I still haven't read it. But I'm excited to read a historical fiction set around Lincoln's life. Don't know anything else about it. And then the 6th book from there, totally different vein, is The Death of Mrs. Westaway. The Death of Mrs. Westaway. Why is that a tongue twister for me? By Ruth Ware. I have only read one Ruth Ware book, The Woman in Cabin 10, and I did not care for it. So I can't speak right now. I've been hesitant to pick up other Ruth Ware books, but I've heard good things, not necessarily about this one, but some about this one, and also The Turn of the Key, her 2 more recent ones. So I am interested in giving them a go. I just haven't yet. So that's the 6th and the 12th book on my 3rd shelf. 6 and 6 more. Number 5, leaping ahead. Name 4 books that you want to read by the next leap year. Or name something on your bookish bucket list that you want to complete by the next leap year. So that's 4 years from now, since this is a leap year. I'm like, I couldn't think of 4 books that I don't think I'd get to right away. I mean, I could probably pick some of my series shelf. And actually, I kind of did go with the theme of series, because instead of 4 books, I chose 4 series that I want to definitely either finish or make progress in before 2024. Those are the Louise Penny series, and I'm on, where is it right here? The Cruelest Month. This is the next one that I'm on. This is only book 3, so I have a long ways to go. I think there's 15 out now, or 16. Cruelest Month. So the Louise Penny Armand Gamache mystery series. Also, the Knightsbridge series. These are the Pillars of the Earth. These are just massive. There's only 3 of them in this trilogy. He also has a Century trilogy, which has 3 more chunk-a-monk books. But I'm just focusing on this one. Since they're so big, I feel like giving myself 4 years is a reasonable request. The Outlander series, which the next book is right here. I'm on book 2, Drums of Autumn. I think there are 7 or 8 currently out in that one, and they're all massive like that. So 4 years, again, is a good time. A good, reasonable amount of time. And then the 4th series that I'd like to make progress is the Maisie Dobbs. This is book 2, Birds of a Feather. This is another mystery series. These are much shorter, than those other two series, but I really enjoyed the first one, and I think there's 17 or 18 books out in this series as well. So yeah, I would like to read a good chunk of them. Let's see. Let's see how far I can get in the next 4 years. All right. Number 6 is Leapfrog. Name a book on your TBR that has green on it. I went to my BookTube Recommends cart, TBR cart, and just found 4 books that have a lot of green on them. So these are books that you guys have all recommended to me to read in 2020. Here's hoping I get to all 4 of these ones. We have Before Green Gables by Budge Wilson. I have not read any Anne of Green Gables retellings or inspired by Green Gables, or, oh no, I did read Marilla by Sarah McCoy, which is kind of Marilla's backstory. So I did read that one, and this is kind of Anne's backstory. So what happened in Anne's life before Green Gables happened. I'm really excited for this one. I've had it on my TBR for quite a while. Let's see if I can get to it this year. The Lavender Garden by Lucinda Riley. This is a historical fiction, dual timelines. Lucinda Riley is an author I definitely am very interested in reading soon. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Totally different genre here, fantasy. I've heard mixed things about this one. Some people really love it and some people really don't. But I don't know anything about it. I have read The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and I saw the movie of Stardust, but I've never read the book. He's pretty prolific. He has quite a few books out, and I'm interested in reading some more from him. So hopefully I get to this one. It's definitely green. And then the 4th one I chose is The Peach Keeper by Sarah Addison Allen. I'm definitely going to read this in the spring. It just looks like a spring book, doesn't it? This is a little bit of magical realism. I am not normally a fan of magical realism, but Sarah Addison Allen does it in a way that I love. It's just so charming. The 2 books of hers that I've read so far, I've just loved. So I'm looking forward to reading another one by her. Number 7 is Bad Luck. What bookish things do you steer clear from? I thought of 4 things because let's stick with the number 4. Infidelity or like marital affairs. I'm not a big fan of that. Not even marital. Even if you're dating someone and you cheat on them, it's just not something that I enjoy reading about. Over flowery writing. I don't know how to describe that, but typically if somebody describes a book as whimsical and lyrical, I have very big hesitation go up about it. I just can't get into that style of writing. An example that some people just love, Tahira Mafi, both her Shatter Me series and her middle grade series furthermore. I've tried both of them and I can only get a couple pages in. I just cannot do it. And I know other people absolutely love it. So it's just a style of writing that's not for me. Another thing that I avoid is unlikable characters or characters without any redeemable qualities maybe. I don't mind if I don't like a character, but there's something about them that I can still root for. For example, Uva, he's quite a little curmudgeon and a lot of people don't like him because he's such a stinker. But as you get to know his story, you kind of understand where he's coming from. I can deal with that. But like in a lot of thrillers, unlikable or unreliable narrators, I guess there's those 2 different things, both of which I don't like. But the 4th one that I try to avoid is gratuitous violence / gore and sex. I don't mind a little bit of sexy time, but let's close the door and let people have their privacy too. If it's too much a focus of the book, either gore or sex, I just try to avoid those kinds of books. All right, so those are things that I avoid. Number 8, tag 4 people. I'm definitely going to tag 4 people because I think this is a fun tag. So I'm going to tag my girls Sarah at Sarah's Nightstand and Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. I'm going to tag Amanda from The Curly Reader and Rainy from Rainy Day Reads. So those are my 4 people I'm going to tag. I hope that you girls do this tag and tag more people, share the love. I think it's a lot of fun, and that's it for me today. I'd love to chat with you guys down in the comments about any of the answers to these questions. I in particular would love to hear if there was a book that you can think of that brought you a little something extra, an extra day of the year for leap year. What's a book that brought you a little something extra? I would love to hear that. Let's share the book love down in the comments, or anything else. You guys know I love chatting with you down there. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go subscribe to all those other people in the description box, and I'll be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye.